The next step in this project is to import some footage and start playing with that in our sequence. So let's do that. So in order to do that, we're going to go into the project tab and we're just going to create a folder to begin with. So let's go new bin, which is this icon here. It looks like a folder, and we can call this footage. And this is where the footage is going to live. So we're going to double click into footage. Now from here, there's multiple different ways of importing your footage. You can drag and drop, you can right click, press import, but I find the most efficient way of doing this is to go into the media browser. Now, each one of these individual windows, they can be moved around. So I can increase this up, I can increase this to the right, or alternatively, I could double click this and it will full screen it, as you can see. Now I'm going to go into this SSD, which is just a hard drive. I'm going to go into a video project. I'm going to import some footage. So we've got some drone footage here that we can play with. There we go. I'm going to import this one. So we're going to right click, press import, and that's going to import that into our footage. Now, if we double click the project tab again, it brings everything back to normal size. Now the audio timeline, as you can see, way too big. So I'm just going to pull this down. If for some reason this was not in the folder like this, then you would just highlight that, drag that into the footage tab. And if you double click this, you can only see what's in the footage tab. It makes things really nice and organized. Now, of course, if you wanted to import loads of footage, so we go to media browser again, you can just highlight everything, right click, press import. And as you can see, everything has been imported. So if we close this back down, you can see we've got all these different clips now in here. This right here is just an information sheet, so I'm just going to get rid of all of these. So for every single clip that I had this metadata file. Just going to get rid of those because they're not relevant. And as you can see, you've got all of our footage now sitting in the bin ready to go. Great. Now, by default, it might be set to this list view, but if you go down to this icon, you can change it to this grid view, so it's much easier to see what you are doing. Now, if you wanted to only import a specific part of a clip, then you could just double click on the clip. You can see we load up the source window up here, and we can just scrub through. Let's say we only wanted this part. You just go to this icon here, which is the mark in, scroll across to the right, and go mark out. Now you can see down here, everything which is grey is not going to be imported and everything blue is going to be imported. So if we drag this in and we zoom in, you can see we've only got that 1 second clip. Now that zoom in, by the way, I just pressed the plus key on the keyboard. So you got plus and minus for zoom in, zoom out. You'll find when you're editing through Premiere, keyboard shortcuts become your best friend. For example, copy and paste is Command C or Control C, and Command V or Control V, depending on whether you're on Mac or Windows. But you can see we've just imported this clip into our sequence. Now, of course, that is quite a slow and tedious way of selecting your footage. What I like to do, and maybe this is just because I've got ADHD and I'm a bit messy in my edit, is I just drag everything in like this. And I just scrub through the timeline this way. Granted, it does mean there is everything now on this timeline, but I'm okay with it because visually I can see if I pull this window up like this, I've got a preview of every single clip. So I can see everything really quick and easy. And then what I like to do when I'm selecting bits that I want to edit. So let's say I want this part of the clip just here. I'm going to press C on the keyboard to load the razor tool. It's going to make a cut. This is a bit that I like. Make a cut there. Then I'm going to press V to go back to the normal selection tool. You can see, by the way, here you've got the different tools. So V is loading up the selection tool. C is loading the razor tool. You can just press these, but like I said, keyboard shortcuts will become your best friend. Then I like to drag this up. So this is the selection that I'm going to be using. And I just like to scrub through and find all the clips that I like to use. Now, if your computer is having a hard time, by the way, as you can see, as I'm scrubbing through this footage, it's a little bit glitchy. Granted, I'm doing a screen recording as well. But if that is the case, then you can just go up to here, see where it says full. This means it's playing it back in full resolution. Now, if you've got 4K footage or if your computer's just being a bit slow, it's going to have a hard time playing this. So if we drop this to quarter resolution, when we play this back, you can see it previews a bit blurry. You can also do a paused resolution. So if we select this spanner icon here, so settings, you can go paused resolution, quarter, And then playback resolution will also be quarter. So your playback resolution and your pause resolution is quarter. It's taking less effort from the computer to play this. Of course, if you full screen this, you can see it's a bit of a blurry mess, but doesn't matter because we can scrub through, make our selections, do our edits, and then we can go back to full resolution for final previews. But anyway, I had to test. Let's just carry on making our selections. So I'm happy with these clips. All 4 of these clips dragged onto video layer 2 are the clips that I want to use. So I'm just going to get rid of everything from video layer 1. I'm going to highlight everything on video layer 2. We'll go to sequence and go down to close gap. And it's just going to bring all of those together. Then I'm just going to drag those down to video layer 1. And you can see we've got 4 clips, which are now around 15 seconds. Let's say we wanted to make a 5-second edit. Well, we can just go through and we can trim the bits of the videos that we like. So we'll use this bit. We'll use this part of this clip. So we want this to be really fast and snappy. Let's use this bit. There we go. So 5 seconds. We need to trim another second off this. There you go. And you can see you've got the second markers up here. As you zoom out, you've also got minute markers as well. But you've also got this time code here, which is called a playhead position, but this is the time code. So you can scrub through, and as you can see, that last clip finishes at 5:01. So if we wanted to make that bang on 5, then we would just do that. So as you can see, I've essentially just made this really quick and easy 5-second edit just by using video layer 1 in this sequence. Now, of course, we have got the option of going onto video layers 2, 3, and just keep going up and up and up. So if we go into this, so we double click this, so we're maximizing this. If you just drag the clip up and up and up, you can see we're creating new layers on the timeline. Of course, you can also come up here and go add tracks. So we right click, add tracks, and we can go for 10 tracks. So now we've got another 10 tracks to make 19 video tracks. Of course, that's a lot, but if you're doing a music video and you've got 20 different takes of the performance, it's going to be really useful to stack all of these on top of each other. And I've mentioned this in a previous video in this series, but Premiere basically prioritizes video clips that are higher up, if that makes sense. So as you can see, we've got this on video layer 1. If I drag this onto video layer 2, you can see we can no longer see this clip on video layer 1. We're just seeing what's on 2. Of course, if I move this out of the way, now you can see we've got video layer 1 and then we cut to video layer 2. So this is essentially a way of starting to create sequences and to start stacking clips on top of each other. So if I go into opacity on this clip on video layer 2 and I start to pull this down, you can see we're getting this merging of the two. We're reducing the opacity of the track on video layer 2 and it's pulling this down to reveal the clip underneath. So essentially Premiere prioritizes clips that are higher up. So if you've got a clip and it's not playing and you've got another clip playing, then it's worth checking one of these tracks to see if anything is above it. But for your basic video editing and cutting and just creating a simple edit, you're probably just going to need one track like this. So now we've imported our footage, we've had a play with it. Let's organize our footage a little bit. So let's go back into the footage tab. So let's full screen this. You can see if we go back to list view, we've got all of these individual clips. Now, let's say we wanted to separate this into different formats. So maybe we've got some footage shot at 1080, maybe we've got some footage shot in 4K. Now, all of mine is shot in 4K, but let's say half of this was 1080. We would go for new bin. So this icon here, new bin. Let's go 1080. And we can make another folder for 4K. There we go. Let's full screen this again. And we can put the relevant clips into each folder like this. So we're keeping things nice and organized. Alternatively, though, you will also notice that each clip has a different color, and we can assign a different color for each different clip. So maybe 4K clips can be a different color. So we'll highlight all of those, right click, go to label down here, and you've got all of these different color options. So let's go for yellow for 4K. And we would go for, Let's go for blue for our 1080 video clips. So quickly and easily you can see blue clips are going to be your 1080, yellow clips are going to be your 4K. Now there's loads of different ways to stay organized and color coordinate, but by using bins and color labels, it's a really easy way of organizing your footage. Now, you might wonder what's the point of doing this now when there's only so few clips in the timeline. But if you're doing a music video with 100 video clips, or you're creating a short film and you've got footage spanning across 10 different filming days and you've got over 1,000 clips, then organizing everything into relevant folders and subfolders and labeling them is just a really good practice to get into because it helps you to stay organized. And when you're an organized editor, it just allows you that creative space to stay in the creative zone. I need this clip, I need this clip, I need this clip, rather than searching, trying to find the clip lost in a sea of different unlabeled, unorganized clips. So I definitely recommend organizing your clips. It's always good to start that from the very beginning because it becomes ingrained in you. But there you go. That is how you import your footage, start cutting that inside of Premiere, and then how to keep all of that footage organized within the project tab. In the next video, we're going to jump into the effects tab and we're going to start looking at different effects inside of Premiere Pro.